That's Brian May and Billy Gibbons playing on Steve Cropper's new album, Friendlytown. Where's Steve? Well, the Rock and Roll Hall of Famer is practically a session man on his own record, and that's just the way he likes it. Here is Steve Cropper at age 82, talking about his new songs and remembering sessions with old friends like Otis Redding, Rod Stewart, Booker T and the MGs, and the Blues Brothers. Having written classics like Sittin' on the Dock of the Bay and In the Midnight Hour, he's more than done his share. So what keeps him going?
Too much stress. Too much stress.
Well, I don't know. I think hits keep you going.
Right.
And artists and so forth. I just love everybody. It's fun. And as long as it's fun, it's fun. It's been fun for a long time.
Yeah.
Hey, as they say, a hell of a ride.
Yeah.
It's been a great ride.
I can imagine.
I've been enjoying it, and that's good. They said, "Did you know you're a legend?" I said, "Bullshit. I'm not anything. I'm just me. I've always been me."
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
I had to figure out why. I
Right.
use the guitar as a tool, not as a musical instrument. If they'd have called for a hammer, I probably would have had a hammer in my hand. Instead, they wanted a guitar. And they said, "How come there's only one guitar on some of those early hits?" I said, "Because we couldn't afford a second guitar."
Right.
When we were able to afford one, we had one. And they always were in my way.
Yeah. I mean, recording has come a long way, but the essence of what makes a great record has kind of remained the same. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. And to
Say
you,
again.
the essence of what
Oh.
makes a great record probably has remained the same. And I'm wondering what to you.
Well, for me, it's the title.
Yeah.
The title has to write itself, I think. And you call it by the real thing, what it is. You don't call it somebody else. Call it something else. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Soul Man says it all, doesn't it?
I guess.
So this new record, that I think you put it together with John Tiven again. Is that right?
Right, exactly.
So
He's a genius on this record.
is he?
So I think most of the titles were his, and most of the lyrics were his and Roger Real. I
Right.
call him Real because of the Five Wells. I think Betty said she used to date Loman Pollin's brother.
Right.
She said they always wanted to be called the Five Royals. I said, "Great, it sounds like a baseball team to me."
Yeah.
Our disc jockey always said the Five Royals. That's grander. That's bigger. Royals.
Yeah.
Instead of
Yes.
Royals.
The Royales. Yes, I always wondered about that. 'Cause I love the band.
Well, now you know. That's a true story because I inducted in the Hall of Fame. And
Yes.
So John Tiven, the same guy, called me and said, "I know you don't want to make another record, but why don't you make one for the guy that you always give credit that influenced you, Loman Pollen?"
Yeah.
So I did an album for this was called Dedicated.
Yeah.
And it's dedicated to the one I love as a song, but I shortened it to Dedicated. Just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Billy shortened this one. It's a friendly town to just friendly town.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that helped them with the lyrics too. Then to stumble into friendly town.
And was Loman Paulman the guitar player as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wrote most of the songs. He was a guitar player and the
Right.
leader of the band.
So,
And I got to see him one time. Maybe that's why I influenced. I don't know. I got
Yeah.
to see the whole. They were at the Beverly Ballroom in Memphis one time, and I
Right.
know most artists didn't come there until later.
And was
the
there
heavy
something about
duty
his guitar playing that connected with you? With the way he
Oh, absolutely. So the thing is, when he got ready to do a solo stuff, he would cradle a guitar. He had a long, long strap down to his knees,
Right.
much like Chuck. Chuck has a regular strap, but he takes his guitar off and hangs it down to his knees and does his crazy walk.
Yeah.
Or he plays behind his head. And Charlie Freeman used to do that. And I went, okay, that's cool. I remember, I'll tell you this if you want to hear it.
Yeah, I do.
One time, Charlie jumped off the stage and I was standing on his guitar cord and pulled up. And he goes down and he's doing nothing's coming out of his amp. He got so mad at me. I didn't see him do that. I mean, I didn't know I was standing on his cord, but I was in the guitar. He jumped off stage to get the cord just flipped out of his guitar.
That's a pretty cool. You must have loved that. You ever tried doing the duck walk yourself?
No.
No.
I'd probably fall down if I did.
Well,
I remember the heel and the one where he gets real low on one and the heel on the other one. You know you can play steel guitar too.
I did
can't
not
do that.
No.
I can't play slide or steel.
Really?
No, I can't do it.
What? Why not?
The thing that I saw in Chuck is he can't tune the guitar either.
Right.
I was so close to him one time, my feet were on the stage.
Right.
So if he had said to you and showbiz like Madeline Kahn, I go, not me. I'll take him off the stage.
Right.
I love that little scene. She says, "Are you that cowboy? Are you in showbiz?" He said, "No, ma'am." He said, "Well, what are your feet doing on the stage, or what are your boots doing on my stage?" That was in Blazing Saddles, I think, the movie.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Madeline Kahn.
That's right. Yes. I'm tired.
So tired.
Couple
Oh, I love her. She's great.
She is
Madeline
good.
Kahn.
Yeah. Now you got Billy Gibbons all over your record, and he's a
Yeah.
very different guitar player, at least to my ears, than
But,
you.
but he's simple. He's simple when he plays. Even ZZ Top is simple.
Right.
I mean, he's a complicated guy, but his playing he's smart enough to know how simplicity is. And he respects me because I play so simple. You know, why do you get your simplicity? It's pretty damn easy. I'm not a guitar player. That's why
Right.
I'm playing to what I know.
Right.
I play by ear. I don't know about the rest of it. I don't know about music. I know enough about music to just know what it's about, and that's about it.
I don't know about that.
That's crazy.
Uh,
But Booker knows it all. He can write a range for, an orchestra or whatever. He does lead sheets, and he can do all that stuff.
and
He's done it several times.
is that
String parts and
was the dynamic between you and Booker kind of what drove the MGs and made it?
maybe, I don't know. Duck said one time, he said, we held kind of held Booker back. I said, yeah, good thing we did. Now Booker's sort of doing what he's wanted to do all his life.
Right.
Good, have fun doing it.
Right. And what about you?
Playing music. He's playing music. I'm still playing rhythm.
Right. All right. Well,
same thing I always did.
Right.
I
Right.
either pick up a bass line or play some kind of complementing rhythm
Right.
that works.
Well, you got a track on your record called "Lay It On Down," which I think that to me sounds the most like what I think of you when I hear you play.
Gonna get together, gonna lay it on down. Gonna get together, gonna lay it on down. Lay it on down.
Lay It On Down. That's a good one. That's the third one I'm trying to think of. There's Friendlytown, Lay It On Down, and In God We Trust.
Right.
They were all Billy Gibbons songs.
Ah. And did you and Billy talk about how you were going to kind of make this record and what's
No, I think he and Tiven talked more than I did with Billy
right?
about what he was going to do. But the first song that Billy played on was Friendlytown.
I even gave up giving up till I stumbled into Friendlytown. All right. Oh, yeah.
And I think you were credited with riff guitar on that song. So what does that mean?
I have riff guitar. I have no idea what riff guitar is.
Okay.
A riff is something you play twice instead of once.
Oh, that there. I like
In the
that.
same spot again. That's what a riff is.
And boom, you're there.
Yeah.
Nice. And you got Brian May playing on Too Much Stress.
Right.
That's a pretty good score. Have you known
Yeah.
Brian for a long time?
No, but Tiven has.
Oh,
They're
I
good friends, just like Duck and I were.
Right.
We've been friends for years. I
Yeah.
don't know when they met. I got to ask Tiven when they actually met because I get asked that all the time.
Right.
I know what his involvement is because of Tiven.
Right.
And Tiven says, I'm doing a new record on Cropper. Can you do something on one of them? He said, I don't know. Send me a track. So I said, have you heard from him in a while? He said, no. I think it's in the line road. And he said, well, I need to call him. He called him the next day and he said, oh, man, I'm way behind. I apologize. Too much stress.
Too much stress.
So John Tiven said, there's your song right there.
There you go.
We had it within a week. It's in it. All done.
Hey, it's good to see so long. You know I tried to phone you. Is there something wrong? Do you need assistance with your heavy load? Do you need a driver on the road? Oh, I'm behind, I must confess. My apologies. Too much stress. Too much stress.
So I think I read somewhere where you don't practice your guitar a lot. You just play it. I mean, how does that work? Because I'm not a musician myself.
Well,
So.
it has always worked, but I realized I never play to myself. I can't. I mean, I can, but I hate it when I do it.
Right.
And so I don't like. I like to play to what I'm listening to. I should have done that.
Right.
So when this COVID thing hit, I didn't play for about a year and a half. I was enjoying my time off.
Oh, right. Yep.
I come out of that and I couldn't play again. I said, I can't play the same thing like I used to. My brain still works, but my hands wouldn't do what my brain said.
Ah,
So now I've got to kind of relearn myself all over again. I did pretty good on this album.
I think you did. Yeah. Now I was
We'll
going
see
through.
what happens.
I was going through my record collection and I found this. So
Oh no.
what do you think when you see that? What goes through your head?
The same thing I always think. Oh no.
Why? That's pretty cool.
Well, the art company was so proud of that album cover
Really?
because it is original, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It does something. I don't know. They just took a picture of it.
Well, what do you remember about the sessions?
Oh, a bunch. The thing is that album came out. You don't know who's on that album.
I don't. I was
Because it
going to
didn't
ask
say
you
who's
because
on
there's
it.
no credits.
Right. And I told Al Bell, who was vice president
Yeah.
of Stax, I said, you put this album on, he had to have it out to make it 27 albums with Paramount. And I said, you put this album out before you get the credits, you'll never get another one. I shot myself in the foot on that one.
Oh,
So it didn't do one for years.
yes, I know. Well,
Years and years. I didn't
not
do
until
one
like this one, right?
Yeah, Jeff Franklin. That was in what was that?
81, I think.
80 something.
81.
Right after the Blues Brothers movie.
Yeah.
So during the Blues Brothers movie, Jeff Franklin came to me and he said, I want you to do a singing album. I said, well, I can't sing. He said,
Right.
yes, you can. So I can sing, I can carry a tune, but I don't have the timbre for it. I know
Right.
that as a producer.
Right.
So that's evident on that one. And so the record company, they did so well on the first one, they wanted the second one. So I gave them two.
Okay. Yeah, I think I got the other one.
Jeff
as well.
said, I'm sorry I wasn't around to promote that. Jeff Franklin.
That one there.
Yeah. Night after night.
But
So in love
and this
with
is a
it.
great cover.
So that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's the only one I did where Booker dictated every word I was supposed to play on it.
Really?
Yeah, every note I played was all dictated from Booker.
How did that work?
Because the only thing I knew on that was what I heard on the radio.
Right.
That's the only thing I listened to. I never collected albums.
Oh, really? I got a bunch.
I've got some albums still upstairs with the cellophane on, never opened.
I can go back to this one.
Yeah, that's way back.
That's way back.
Tell me where those onions came from, and then I'll tell you you're gonna die.
Say what?
Where the onions came from.
Where the onions came from?
Yeah, on the front cover of that cover.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Where did they come from?
New York. Why?
Why?
They told the art guy, and he went down and they always put the produce out on the street in
Yeah.
New
Oh,
York.
yeah.
He took a picture of a bin of green onions, and that's it. That's the front cover.
That's freaking amazing. And back then, Jim Stewart was the head of the label. You mentioned. So what? And he's given credit as supervisor on this record. So what did he do?
What did Jim do?
Yeah.
I don't know. He might have engineered the tracks. I don't know what Jim did.
Okay, all right.
But I do know that he engineered Green Onions.
Oh yeah,
He was there for that one. Oh yeah.
very cool.
So that's what he did.
Yep. And I was wondering because I'm
That
kind
was
of a fan
probably his idea.
of your old
Supervisor.
buddy William Bell. Are you familiar with this newer album of his?
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm familiar with him, but not the new album.
This is
He said he had one. I said,
came
well,
out in
get us
20
a copy.
This came out in 2016. It's fantastic, and I was just wondering.
Okay. Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah,
That one did. I did know. It's been out for a while.
yeah. And do you
He's great.
do you keep in touch with these guys at all?
I do a lot. They did a documentary. Him and Eddie Floyd both did the documentary. Oh,
Right.
It was awesome.
Yeah?
They were great. Yep.
All right.
So
So
I'm glad I was here for that.
Yeah. So-
They were filming in that couch. You can't see it from here. I could turn around. They
okay.
were sitting in that couch, and I was in another room, and I heard everything they said.
Well, yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. You guys must have amazing stories to tell.
We do.
Yep. So do you have like one profound moment in the studio that stands out to you over all the years? One.
No, not that I can tell on
Oh,
Zoom,
come on.
but I can't. Well, I might could do you. So there's a girl. I'm going to tell you who this girl was.
Okay.
She was headed to Jim said, "Guys, you better come in and listen to that." And Al Jackson got off his drums and said, "Man, she'll never sing her ass off." She almost couldn't get through the door. She had a butt that wide.
Right.
I ain't gonna tell you who that was.
All right.
At the time. It's narrow now.
And what about on stage? Are there times where you
Well,
where everything was just amazing?
maybe I don't know on Belushi on the Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
He came out one time. I think we're doing a sound check in Chicago, and he came out doing this little pirouette.
Yeah.
He always come out doing a pirouette, not his thing when he opens the show. And he come out doing a pirouette, but he was standing on one of our sound check things, one of the song lists for
Yeah.
the sound check, and he spun on that and fell down. I thought that was funny. We'd laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh, and Aykroyd turned around and said, "Cropper, stop laughing." Okay. So John, I guess, had a pretty serious fall. We didn't know. It just looked like this big old guy fell down. That's
Right. Oh, right. He hurt himself, did he?
I know what it's like to fall now. Oh,
Yeah.
it ain't fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I fall, I hit hard because a 200-pound guy is gonna fall when he falls. He gonna feel it.
And I'm curious. I'm interested in how when you were backing Neil Young. Was that music-wise and performance-wise? Was that a different thing because he's a very unique performer in his own
He's very
right?
unique. Well, I don't know. He accepted whatever we did, and I don't know. My trick is very simple. If I have a trick, I don't get in anybody's way.
Right. Right. Yep.
And they love that. Most artists really like the fact that this guy is not in the way. He's not trying to put on a show of his own. And so this album was about Neil Young or whatever we're doing. It's not about Steve Cropper and Doug Dunn. It's about Neil Young. So that's, as long as you keep that in mind, just listen to the singer, listen to whatever you're doing, everything is fine. That's what
Right.
Duck and I've always done.
Right.
We listen to the other musicians and we listen to the singer of the song. So Tommy Dowd knew that too. You know what Tom Dowd used to do?
Right. What?
I would do it when everybody knew it. We'd push the red button when everybody knew the song.
Right.
But Tom Dowd used to go around when he had to do music, he put the lyrics on there too.
Ah.
So he'd make the musician read the lyrics
Uh-huh.
so they know what they're playing about.
Right.
To be playing just to be playing is two different things. So there's a difference in a studio guy and a guy on stage. It's okay for one or the other to do both, but to do one or the other is not the same thing. And I've tried to tell them that. If a musician is used to seeing 200,000 people go nuts every night,
Yeah.
and he goes to the studio, there's nobody going
Right.
nuts. He thinks they're going nuts because of him. No, they're going nuts because of the song.
Right. 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 Well, interesting.
Right.
Yeah. 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 So if you had
So-
to choose between being a songwriter and a guitar player, where would you go? If you could only do one
If
of
I
the other.
had to, if I was made to choose, probably a songwriter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for you, what is the most satisfying song that you've had a part of writing?
The one I'm working on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have a particular song. They're all good, except I mean they're all like Al Jackson told me one time. We were up in the control room listening to tracks that we had done back. And I said,
Right.
"Man, that one right there sounds like a hit." And so Al said, "Steve, they're all hits till they're released."
Now I see you have a
you're
tune on a
right.
new album called "Talking About Politics." You're talking about
Right.
liars, crooks, and clowns.
Clowns.
Yeah, I like
That's
that.
Timmons' idea. I wish it was my idea, but that's Timmons' idea.
Talk about politics. Politics. Liars, crooks, and clowns. Yeah.
in
don't deal
Virginia.
with politics. He does.
Okay, because here we watch it all happen from a step back, and it's very
Right.
entertaining and kind of scary. So I just
Right.
wondering what your take is on what's happening.
Well, it's sort of like watching a cartoon show,
Yes, it is.
and we watch. What is it? We watch a lot, and there were 6 commentators on there. They
Yep.
all talk about the same thing
Yep. Yep.
every time. So all they're doing is trying to reach as many as they can. But I remember, I'm restricted to a TV or the couch or whatever.
Right.
I've never been a couch potato in my life until I fell a couple of times. Now I'm
Right.
restricted to a lift chair over there,
Oh,
not the
okay.
couch.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm a lift chair potato, not a couch potato.
Better than a mashed potato.
Better than that. Mashed potato, yeah. Mashed potato, do the mashed
Good
potato.
mashed
You
potato.
know,
Was
there's a
it
dance.
Dee Sharp or something like that?
No, who was did it? Might have been mashed potato. I can't remember. I remember what's the name? Did shotgun shooting for a run?
Junior Walker.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. You got that one.
Yep.
We'll
Yep. Yep.
find out who did the mashed potatoes. They're pretty easy enough to pull up.
It would be full. I'll see. Now, back to the 50s. I used to work with a guy named Bill Doggett. I made a record with him once, and his guitar player back in the 50s was Billy Butler. Do you remember? Did you listen to him much?
I knew him. I didn't know him, but I knew of him.
Right.
Yes, I did. And honky tonk. You know when it modulates or just, well, we used to do it in E because everybody learned it in E, and so did I.
Right.
But the key is an F.
Oh.
So when the horns go ba da 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 da, the marquees would modulate to F. Da 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 da, and
Yeah.
I'd get off at a Bill Doggett Billy Butler line and play the. He was tuned different for that song. I didn't know that until somebody told me, not John Tibbin, but one of our guitar players.
Now I got to say, I was right. It's Dee Sharp who did mashed potato.
Okay.
Mashed potato time.
Okay. Mashed potato time.
Yeah.
Is that what it's really called? Huh? Not just mashed potato.
That's correct.
Mashed potato time. But it was a dance. Were I right about that?
It was, yeah. I think it was on the Cameo label. So I'm ashamed to say that I know all that stuff.
Right.
But that must have been very exciting in the early 60s when mashed potato time was happening and you guys were doing your thing. Everything, did it all feel new and different when that was all going down?
Sort of. When Junior Walker played, it was a little different.
Right.
That's funky.
Yeah.
And Stevie Wonder,
Yeah.
when he played Fingertips, oh my God, that blew me away. And we were already accustomed to Ray Charles doing What Did I Say? Oh,
Yeah.
that was an ad-lib song. And I remember the bass player in that record says, What key? It's live. Tom Dowd was there. He said, the bass player says, What key? And so we used that in the movie. And Duck, that was Bob's Country Bucker. And Duck said, What key? Oh, somebody said, What key? And Duck says, Let's try something. That's a good country key.
Yeah.
Didn't mean nothing he said would have made any difference. Let's try G. That's a good country key. Or C is good. I don't know what he said, but
Yeah. And of course, Duck was an amazing bass player in his own right.
oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
what was it that you and he had together? What was it that was special?
Well, I can tell you, I don't know what we had together, but we were just best friends. We tell each other, we call each other with a new joke.
Yeah.
And we started that crap at Sherwood, at junior high.
Oh, really?
7th, 8th, and 9th grade. 9, 10, 11, 12, we were domestic. But 8, 9, 10, 8, 9, not 10. Up to the 8th grade, I think, was Sherwood. 1 through 8. And we met in 4th grade or 5th grade, I think, on a little softball game before the class started.
Right.
That's where we first met.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
He was a transfer student from South Memphis, and I was already there. I didn't transfer, but I came over from Graham. I did half a year at Graham and half a year at Sherwood. I didn't know Duck then.
Right. And were
because we were waiting. We had an apartment on Summer Avenue, which means nothing to you, but it would if you were from Memphis. And while our house was being built, and then after the house was built, a small house, not a big house, but it was. And while it was being built, it was all good. And then I went over to Sherwood and finished the 4th grade. And that was my fifth year of school, not
Yeah.
my first.
Yeah.
So I had 13 years of school, and I'm so glad because we all graduated about the same age. And that was the Marquis of the high school band, by the way.
Right.
There's only 2 guys alive in that band.
Yeah.
Don Nixon and myself from that band. He was our baritone player.
Yeah. So at what age did you start playing guitar?
About 14.
Yeah.
They said, "What age were you when you started writing?" I said, "Around 14. Playing guitar? I still can't. I'm still learning."
Oh, come on now.
Yeah, right. That's what everybody said. But that's true.
Right.
So I didn't use a guitar as a musical instrument. I think I told you that. I use it as a tool.
Right. Yep, like a hammer.
I told you that story already. If
Yes,
they asked
yeah.
for a hammer, I'd hammer me.
Right.
But they needed a guitar. So I said, okay.
But you could
No
have
problem.
picked up a trumpet or played the drums or
I
something.
guess.
What brought you to the guitar? Was it because of the songwriting
I
ability?
think because I had one, and when I was 8, I used to pull my uncle's guitar.
Oh, right.
And that one's downtown right now at the museum.
Oh, really?
It's got 3 strings on it. So I asked the curator, I said, "You want me to restring it?" And he said, "Hell no, leave it where it is." I said, "Okay." It probably is more impressive to fans with 3 strings on it.
Right.
And I never did ask Dale. I asked my aunt, could I get Uncle Dale's guitar out? Because he didn't play guitar. He played piano and violin.
Uh-huh.
He could have maybe, but somebody would show up for after the church and they'd say, "Well, I play a little guitar. Do you play piano or violin?" "No, but I play guitar, but I don't have one with me." So he bought one
Right.
from Porter Wagner's band.
Porter Wagner's.
Which this is not a Porter guitar. It'd
Right.
be worth a lot if it was.
Yeah.
It was just a backup guitar.
Yeah.
And I think one of his sons told me that his dad paid $50 for that guitar. That was a lot of money in those days.
That is a lot of money back then.
Back then it was.
Yeah.
So
And guitar wise, did you always play Fenders or
yeah, Telecaster basically.
Yeah.
That's the only one I've ever had with blonde neck. It was already broken in. That's why. And I played that one on Rochester. That guitar is now at the Smithsonian.
As it should be.
They have the Blues Brothers.
Did you ever worry about the Blues Brothers almost not taking the music seriously, kind of parodying it instead of, giving it the respect?
They didn't take it seriously. I did.
Yeah.
Like so many, I took very seriously. This is the only hit we ever had out of them. They took very seriously what Rubber Biscuit with Aykroyd and
Rubber Biscuit, yeah.
I love that one. The Sunday go to meeting bun, wish sandwich, that's great. If it don't bounce back, you go hungry. And the audience would go nuts if it don't bounce back. Whoever thinks of throwing a sandwich against the wall, and if it don't bounce back, you go hungry. Everybody knows you go hungry because it ain't gonna bounce back. Oh, and I love it Sunday go to meeting bun.
Yeah.
Oh, that was funny. But
songs like
didn't make it.
Songs like Rubber Biscuit and Alley Oop and all those, I mean, they were a lot of fun.
The whole thing was just full of crap. It didn't matter. And I love the one where in a movie, if you're doing a movie, they always have 2 of everything.
Right.
But I only had one whip. And when he pops that girl the cigarette out of her mouth,
right,
that damn whip broke, and we had to shut things down so they could put the cotton back in the whip.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Lucy just did it too hard. He said, "Oh, he never broke again." But they had to sew it back, put cotton in it, and sew it back up. I know we'll get
that. But on the other side, I mean, we have these crazy songs, but then there's a song like Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, which is so intensely emotive. I mean, it just means something to everybody. I mean,
right.
Do you think
That's
about
what I like? I wish I had 100 like it.
Yeah.
Not to make money, but I wish I could give it to everybody. I said, if I knew the reason I made it, I'd bottle and give it to everybody.
Right.
Free of charge. But I don't know what cause is. I guess Hit Records is the only thing I'd credit it to.
Yeah. I mean, that must have been amazing.
Me being accused of being a musician, they said. So you mentioned him a while ago. I should have said this. He was talking about Young, and I think he said the best compliment he ever been paid when he was called a musician.
Yeah.
He said, "That's the biggest thing that ever happened to me." Neil
Really?
Young.
Yeah.
And he said, when I was accused of being a musician, he said, "That's the best thing ever happened to me." Bless his heart.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I got you.
I mean, so what was it like in the studio with a vocalist like Otis Redding when I mean, because you
Well, totally different. I've always said about Otis, pretty simple. If you took a half a jar of Sam Cooke and a half a jar of Little Richard, he and Little Richard from the same town, Macon, Georgia.
right,
If you shook that up, poured it out, you get Otis Redding. Because
yeah,
he could croon like Sam Cooke and he could stomp on the stage just like Little Richard.
yep,
Even though Little Richard was restricted to his piano, but he used to dance on top of it.
yep. Have you seen the documentary about Little Richard that came out a few years back? It was very good. And
Should have.
yeah,
Ray Charles Lee, I should have, because I know those guys,
yeah,
real personal.
yeah.
So I'm sure I might like it and I might not. And I could not understand why a guy played another good friend of mine was what's his name? Let's go sailing, that one. Not that guy, not sailing. Let's go. Bobby Darin.
Oh, Bobby Darin, yeah.
Now I couldn't figure
Somewhere
out
across the sea is what you're thinking of, right?
why that
Somewhere.
character why that actor played that character. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Then I found out why he played it. He owned it, Bobby
Oh.
Darin. He owned the live story of it.
Oh, I see. Yeah. And
why I played it.
Bobby Darin was
He
on
did a great
Atlantic.
job.
Yeah, Echo as well.
That movie I saw, and I'm glad I saw it because I feel a lot the same. That's why I didn't watch the other ones because I watched that one.
Yeah.
Bobby was a pretty good friend of mine.
Oh, yeah. And he
played on
died
some
young,
of
didn't
some-
he? He had like a heart condition or something, right?
Yeah, some weird.
Yeah.
But he was a buxom guy. He was real strong. It's weird to see him go like that.
Yep. Yep. And very
I
talented.
didn't go to his funeral. I wasn't invited to his funeral, so they didn't know.
Oh, geez.
They called as many of his friends they could. They didn't call me, and so that's fine.
No,
I was
man.
in Memphis anyway. He
Yeah.
was in LA, but it would have been a long trip, but I don't care.
Did you ever play on any of his records?
I did.
Which one?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
What album did he play? He did a version of Anna, I think, and we did that one, and some circus song.
Okay.
I remember that, but I don't remember the song itself.
I love it.
Something about the circus. I can't remember that far back.
Right.
That was during the Watch Riot, so Bobby was already having it before then. He did a thing in New York way before that, and I think that's when I first heard him. Because Duck's brother worked for King Records, and he was on King at one time, I think,
Yep.
wasn't he?
I'm not sure.
I'm not either. I
Because
remember
he was on
playing at Cobo
Atco.
Hall.
Yeah, I think he was on
Not Cobo.
Atco and then
Detroit.
Capitol.
Copacabana.
Copacabana, yeah.
Yeah, he did that. Remember Bobby, what was the drummer's name that did it? Much like Paul Simon did with the bass player from Apple.
Oh, right, with Steve Gadd and
Was that Gadd?
Steve Gadd played on 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover with Paul Simon. I know that because
okay.
he's also
Okay.
from Rochester, where I'm from. Steve Gadd.
Gotcha.
So remember that.
Well, I was talking about the Graceland album. What is the song with the African Mamba? The background is Mamba something.
Yeah.
And the bass player, guitar player. I did an album with him in New York, or did some soundtracks for him. A session with him. And that's why they got me as playing with Paul Simon. I said, I never played with Paul Simon.
Yeah.
I played on the Artie Garfunkel record when Artie was on his own.
Yeah.
Not the whole record, just one song.
Yeah. I just watched a documentary about Paul Simon. It's like 3.5 hours long. It only goes up to like 1989. It just goes on and on. But he's quite the guy. He's a very talented song.
Yeah, he was something else.
Yeah, and still going. So it's interesting. Yeah. I love the fact that you guys in your 80s, like Mick Jagger and Keith Richards and Bob Dylan and Ian Hunter and all you people are all still cooking along. It seems amazing.
I guess. Yeah. It was great. So I was so proud of those guys. I never there's not a jealous bone in my body about it, any of them making it or not making it, or them have more money than I do. It doesn't matter to me.
Right.
We were on the same thing at the same time. I helped Ringo do Photograph. Every time I see your face, I remember that song was going to be thrown off of the album.
Really?
Off the session. Not off the album, but off the session.
Right.
And I look at Nicky Hopkins when Nicky was still alive, and I said, Nicky, let's you and I go out and put a groove on this thing. So next thing you know, about 5 minutes later, there's Ringo, and then Jim Kellner sat down, and then Klotz came out, and we had it in about 3 takes.
Nice. That's a great record.
Richard said, what is it?
Yeah.
Well, that's a song that George wrote for Serena. Really. Every time I see your face, it reminds me of the places we used to go.
Yeah.
And I helped on Tonight's the Night Gonna Be All Right. So it is what it is. But I wrote all the changes to that song and one other one. He gave me credit on, or when I say he, Rod Stewart gave me credit on
Right.
Stone Cold Sober Again.
Right.
Well, my idea was I took it to him, and he was out by the pool in Beverly Hills, and so I took him. Too Much Noise was mine. The guy just wants some sleep. Comes off the road, he wants some sleep. There's a party going on in his house.
Yeah.
And he can't get to sleep. So too much noise. So Rod's whole thing was, my wife always makes me stop drinking when I get off the road.
Right.
He said on the road, she's not there to say anything. So I'm drinking and having a ball. And I do remember he used to get all the musicians stoned out of their head before they did the first note of music.
Very good.
Try this. A rum cocktail. Rod is the guy that got me started on Coke and cognac. Coke and cognac.
Well,
maybe because it's 2 C's.
Yeah, right. Well, the two of you survived all that and it's still rocking.
It worked.
So that's a beautiful thing.
Tried.
Yeah. Now our Zoom time is about to run out, so we got to wrap it up. I'm just wondering if there's anything else you want to say about the new record or anything at all before we.
I love it. I'm glad you like the new record. Just play it. It's good.
Yep.
I like them all, but my favorite one is what is it called? There's Always a Catch.
Oh yeah,
that's my favorite track.
That's pretty funky.
I know the day that John and I wrote that track, I said, "Give me a copy of that because I want to take it home and listen to it." And I listened to it. I said, "Man, that's a hit."
Just when you think you're ahead of the game, don't go crazy because your life stays the same. You gotta come up with some extra scratch. Don't go crazy because there's always a catch. Hey,
friends of mine were all meeting to go to lunch.
Yep.
And I said, "You guys can take 10 minutes out of your life. I want to play something." I said, "Okay." So we played that, and they said, "That is a hit. That song is a hit. Always a catch."
Yep.
Just when you think you're ahead of the game, don't go change it because you're not stays the same. I love it when Roger says, "Hey guys, come here. I got to tell you something." Oh, that blows my mind when that's, "Hey guys, come here. I got to tell you something." The other day I was buying a car. That's the way it all starts. And the guy comes and says, "How much can you pay?" I never do all that shit.
No.
And there's so much like me. I think I wrote this song. He wrote it.
Yeah, right.
That's the same idea I have.
Nice. Yeah, that's a great track. Well, thank you very much. We're gonna
Thank you. Appreciate
get thrown off of the internet here in a minute, so we don't want that to happen. But again, have a great. Thank you so much for spending all this time sharing with me.
If you need something else, call me.
I will.
No problem. All right.
All right, come on down to New Zealand.
There you go. I'll be down there one of these days. They canceled every tour we ever had in New Zealand. That's weird. We didn't have that many.
Somebody didn't know what they were doing.
Neil Young got canceled, and so did Jimmy Buffett.
Oh man!
To New Zealand. I've been to Australia several times, but New Zealand is right there. And
we got to rectify that situation.
All right.
See you later.
You be good. Have a good one.
Right. Bye.
If you enjoyed this episode of the 13th Floor's Music Talk series, please be sure to subscribe to the website or to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram and wherever you find your podcasts. There's a whole lot more to discover.